Today. I am Deolkar. I'm anticipating conversing with you about ambiguity. So, I made a pre-talk sound video on the grounds that because of talking voice issues, ambiguity is a vital piece of the plan. It directs us towards the awkward hole between what is and what could be, which is the place where I accept configuration adds the most worth for designers. I accept uncertainty implies having the option to hold contradicting or various thoughts in strain. Simultaneously, what's to come is questionable on the grounds that it's brimming with questions, and it can possibly be formed by sets of profoundly various thoughts as designer. I'm once in a while attempting to win the contention. I'm attempting to discover approaches to unite or discover goals through apparently inverse thought suppositions and the various positions individuals are taking. Creators manage vagueness best by being active. It's simply the eagerness to place into the world that we're attempting to shape, and afterward being available to how it will shape us back through our thoughts, qualities, and thinking. Probably the greatest reason for expanding ambiguity is the expanding variety of the present labor force among various societies and characters. A similar word and expression can have altogether different implications. For instance, what was considered as terrible before may be deciphered as being cool today. Along these lines, what was an analysis previously could be a commendation today. Essentially, what is fitting conduct in societies can be exceptionally hostile in others. For instance, direct eye-to-eye connection in certain societies can be a way to show undivided attention and profound regard in others. It tends to be scary subsequently. It is significant, not exclusive, to perceive which words and motions to utilize, yet in addition to thoughtfully clarify one's decision. One essential ambiguous, then again, isn't a word used to depict individuals. However, it is utilized to portray things individuals do, or say it's utilized in situations where the importance of something isn't clear frequently, in light of the fact that it tends to be perceived in more than one way. Is a calligraphic plan that has a few understandings as compassed. An ambigram is a visual joke of an uncommon kind of calligraphic plan, having at least two translations as compass words. One can voluntarily jump back and forth between the opponent, reading typically by moving one's actual perspective. However, once in a while by essentially changing one's perceptual predisposition towards a design. Once in a while, the readings will express identical things at times, They will express various things. Typeface different ambigram specialists may make particular ambigrams from similar words, contrasting in both style and structure. The term typeface is oftentimes mistaken for the term text style. Before the coming of computerized typography and work area distributing, the two terms had all the more plainly got implications. The ambiguous object illusion or the ambiguous cylinder illusion was planned by of Meiji University in Japan. The Japanese mathematician and craftsmen are known for their three-dimensional optical illusions. Those are square-form cylinders. However, when seen in the mirror, they transform into circles. The stunt lies looking like the cylinder is neither totally round nor square shape, somewhere close to the two with raised and inward shapes at the highest point of the cylinder. Basically, when we center around specific subtleties, our mind sorts out the remainder of the picture around these forms. Ambiguous illusions show how vision is a work of both the eye and the brain. The eye takes in a bunch of lines, and contingent upon what they are, the mind arranges them into a conspicuous example, which we then see. We can't see the two pictures ours without a moment's delay on the grounds that in any event from the start, feasible for the cherub Ram to build the two pictures and overlay one on the other. Ambiguous illusions are illusions that are intended to move, starting with one article then on to the next. As an individual's impression of the changes, ambiguous illusions are so groundbreaking, we can just observe each of them in turn. The all is vanity ambiguous figure has a place in an enormous class of fantasies where a two-dimensional figure or three-dimensional item can be found in at least two forcefully particular manners. The Necker 3D square is a notable model. Another example is the Rubin container. Ducker hair, the 100-year-old optical illusion that could disclose to you how innovative you are. The duck bunny drawing was first utilized by American analysts Joseph Castro in 1899. To point out that recognition isn't just what one sees, yet in addition a psychological movement. Ambiguous illusions are pictures or items that for the most part present the watcher with a psychological decision of two translations, every one of which is legitimate. Frequently the watcher sees just one of them, and just understands the second substantial translation after some time, or provoking at the point when they endeavor to all the while see the second and first understandings. They out of nowhere can't see the primary translation any longer. And regardless of how they attempt, they basically can't envelop the two translations at the same time. One blocks the other. Ambiguity is a sort of importance where an expression, articulation, or goal isn't unequivocally characterized, making a few translations conceivable. It's often viewed in a negative light, since we value clarity in writing, and ambiguity is the opposite of clarity. However, sometimes ambiguity can be a good thing, especially in poetry and storytelling. Thank you for attending my presentation.